Yo, it's your boy GT here from the Gangster Times. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also hit me up on Instagram, which is gangstertimes_official, and on my Snapchat, type in the search box. So guys, I reported on this incident a couple of weeks ago, where a County Lines drug gang was jailed for 40 years after the gang moved around a kilo of crack cocaine and heroin into Derby from Nottingham in March and July last year. The gang sent out a staggering 8,439 texts to potential users advertising so-called Marlow drug ring. They used addicts' houses as a base where they bullied vulnerable young people into selling the drugs. And the gang were nailed after they recruited a taxi driver, Shahid Iqbal, who's 41, who transported drugs and dealers around the city. However, unwittingly, he kept his taxi dashcam on while ferrying drug runners around and was recorded boasting about their crimes.
Stuff in it. There's a shop in it. Just get some credit. Just once you've made a little thing in it, just there's a shop in it there, Premier shop nearby. Yeah. What you do is you get £10 credit on your phone. Yeah.
So Derbyshire Police have released this footage, so I thought why not re-upload this again with the actual footage to get a bit more context with regards to what actually happened.
Nottingham drug gang who flooded neighbouring Derby with heroin and crack cocaine have been jailed for a combined total of more than 40 years. The group, who are all from Nottingham, used 3 homes belonging to women in Derby, along with a taxi, to ferry the drugs and young dealers across cities to sell the Class A drugs on the streets. I believe that a taxi driver even told one of the most senior members of the group, "Whenever you need me, whatever time of day or night, I'll be there for you, my brother."
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, bro. Look, whatever goes on between me and you stays between me and you, brother. I'm like a brother to you. You know what I mean? So whatever goes on between me and you stays between me and you. You got me, bro? Yeah. Look, like I says in it, whatever goes on between me and you stays between me and you. Nobody needs to know about nothing. You got me?
But you see this one here?
Yeah.
There's at least once a day.
Once a day?
At least.
Yeah, there you go, bro. There you go. Yeah. See, like it says in it, bro, whenever you need me, anytime, day, night, anytime, you got me. I'll be there for you, my brother, you got me, anytime.
So the 11-strong gang was sentenced at Derby Crown Court to a total of 43 years and 3 months behind bars. Judge Jonathan Bennett said this was a conspiracy to supply large quantities of crack cocaine and heroin to the streets of Derby. The line was operating on 61% of the days it was active between March and July last year. Young couriers were used and more than 8,000 mass marketing messages were sent out from 3 different numbers offering both drugs for sale. The Crown's conservative estimate is 1 kilo of heroin and crack cocaine moved between Nottingham and Derby. The prosecutor, Gareth Wheatman, said the conspiracy ran between March and July 2020. He said undercover cops used complicated surveillance techniques to track the movement of the drugs and gang members between the 2 cities before they pounced. Mr. Wheatman added, "It was called the Marlow line, and we know there were 8,439 individual texts sent to potential customers during that time. We have deliberately underestimated the true extent of the operation. This was a county lines operation, which means drugs were transported from one area to another as dealers sought to target new territories." The prosecutor outlined each of the gang members' individual roles. He said the address of Mandy Hughes, who's 40, was a focal point for the operation. The prosecutor said she allowed her home to be used as a supply base in return for Class A drugs. Her role was to keep an eye on the runners when they came to her address. The prosecutor said Sharon Taylor, who is 35, and Gemma Cooper, who is 36, were living at an address in Derby and that they were dealing from there to other users. He said Miss Cooper, in a police interview, said she agreed to sell the drugs for the Marlow line, worked shifts, and were paid in drugs. She said they had been cuckooed and were not happy about it because the pay was crap. Hughes was jailed for 3 years. So Stephen Kemper, barrister, said she has been addicted to drugs since she was 18 and started taking drugs following the death of a 10-month-old son from meningitis. She has been exploited by others. The defense for Taylor, Chris Hallis, said his client had what he called a chronic drug addiction for 20 years. He said by doing what she did, she was able to get all the drugs she needed to avoid working the streets. She was jailed for 1 year and 3 months. And Steve Cobley, Cooper's barrister, said his client is now in settled accommodation, living with her mother. He said there is genuine remorse on her part. She is free from drugs and has a safety net around her. She was jailed for 1 year and 3 months, suspended for 2 years. So as you can see, these women, they were taken advantage of. So Bright Norman, who's 25 of Nottingham, was the boss of the operation, the prosecutor said. He told the court he had a pivotal role in running the Marlow line and had access to a wholesale quantities of Class A drugs. When he was arrested in his bedroom, there was 75 pre-packed wraps of heroin and 165 wraps of crack cocaine, along with larger amounts of high-purity crack cocaine. His barrister, Digby Johnson, said he always disputed and continued to dispute he was the head of the operation. Those above him put pressure on him. Norman was jailed for 9.5 years. Andrew Evaristo, who's 24 of Nottingham, played a leading role in the conspiracy the prosecution alleged. Mr. Wheatman said he was directing and organising sales and sending out mass marketing messages, expecting considerable financial reward. His barrister said, I have to accept this was motivated in part for financial gain. He was jailed for 7 years and 10 months. The prosecution said Charisse Fuller, who's 28 of Nottingham, allowed her arrest to be used as the central base for the operation. The prosecutor said she willingly stored, prepared and cut the drugs for forward supply, was aware of the scale of the operation and took part for financial gain. Fuller was jailed for 5 years. The prosecutor said Mohammed Haley, who's 22 of Wokingham, was a member of the gang who supplied taxi driver Iqbal with drugs to send to Derby from Nottingham. He said there is footage taken from the taxi in which he refers to the runners as my kids. He was trusted to run the daily logistics between Nottingham and Derby and directed the runners personally. Mohammed Haley was jailed for 6 years and 9 months. And the prosecutor said Shahid Iqbal, who's 41 of Nottingham, used his role as a taxi driver to willingly transport drugs and runners between Nottingham and Derby. As I stated previously, he sent a message between him and Mohammed Haley saying he's going to be there for him whenever he needs, any time of the day, brother. The prosecutor said he had a daily operational involvement in the chain. And his barrister Mark Sharman said, I must accept Mr. Iqbal performed an operational role, but there is no suggestion he involved others. What was his downfall was financial motivation. So Iqbal had no previous convictions. He was jailed for 4 years.
Thing in it. There's a shop in it there, Premier shop nearby, yeah? What you do is, you get £10 credit on your phone, yeah? You get used to this one, bro. You make some peas, you get me, bro? I said you'll get used to this one, you make some peas. You make some money this one. Well, I tell you, innit? You be good with this guy here, yeah? He'll look after you, bro. Now you're gonna go, yeah? She's gonna help you out. She's a nice girl, yeah? Go on, bless my brother. Look after yourself, yeah? No, don't worry. You just go, bro. Go on. You put the mask on and go, innit?
The prosecution said Grady Mbika Blessing, who's 21, was one of the runners. The prosecutor said when he was arrested, 49 wraps of drugs were found at his address. He was aware of the scale of the operation for a significant financial advantage. Mbika Blessing was jailed for 3 years. Nana van der Velde of Manchester was another one of the runners for the line, the prosecution said. The prosecutor said when he was arrested, he volunteered that he had 102 wraps of crack cocaine and 50 wraps of heroin in his boxes. He said he could not name who gave him the drugs. His solicitor said he was only 17 when this took place and he got involved at the behest of others. Van der Velde was sent to a young offenders institute for 1 year and 9 months. Ricky Hollis Smith, who's 19 of Nottingham, acted as a runner between June and July 2020, sending out mass marketing messages to the customers. His barrister Lauren Butts said he was approached when he moved into supported housing and felt he could not say no. He has always maintained the position he was doing, and he was doing what he was told to do. His sentencing has been adjourned as he's too ill to attend the hearing. So guys, what do you think to that? Nottingham gang have flooded the streets with heroin and crack cocaine I've been jailed for a combined total of more than 40 years. Let me know what you guys think it should
Guys, I just want to say thank you very much for your continued support. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click that bell icon so you get the latest notifications of all the videos that I put up. I see all the love and support you guys give me, and I can't thank you enough. You guys are the best, let me tell you that. One love.